So I'm going to be going through notes that Brandy and I went through, and I'm going to let you know a little bit about myself. So last year, almost a year ago, we were at Land Grant Brewing. Kaleidoscope Youth Center, we do an annual drag brunch on top of the ones that all of our local establishments do throughout the year. But the one that's fully sponsored by Kaleidoscope. And something weird happened. Nazis showed up. Some of you may have remembered this because it got a lot of attention. It was a lot of national attention. That brunch is hosted by myself and Virginia West. So when I talk about vibrancy, you're going to get it from a bunch of different perspectives. The takeaway from that whole experience has launched my brain and my purpose into a different space. Because what happened that morning was, yes, there was a Nazi, great, fine. Well, not one, like 20. But there was a human wall that happened. These beautiful, and they grabbed blankets and they barricaded the hate between the stuff that was happening out there and the love that was being generated inside of Land Grant. But there was a very particular moment for me that shifted things. There was a straight, cis, white man who's an ally that was standing there with his wife holding a blanket, and they were in my eye shot from off to the right. And I walked over because I am a combatant person. I'm not afraid of anything. I challenge and question everything. I think that's the best way to live your life, because if you can question everything, you can get the answers quicker. And then you can live your life a little bit more honestly. So I walk over ready to just start throwing down. And I look at this cis white man in this environment who doesn't have to truly take a side. He didn't need to. And he was just sobbing because he looked around at all of the love that was being generated and just broke down because he thought it was going to affect me in a way that it didn't. But I looked at him and he affected me more than the entire experience, because I realized in that moment, we are all absolutely human, regardless of every walk and how we look. So that was like, and so when I get into the drag of things, we'll go back, but we're gonna talk about this kid. It's hard to see, but I have a Dairy Queen ice cream cone in my mouth. I grew up directly next to a Dairy Queen, which is not so weird from now, because I live right across the street from one now. Hold on, let me see what's going on. There it is. Welcome to the Jacksons. I am the youngest, technically, of 5. One is not in this photo. This cute little, it's me. Mom, Dad, honestly, I look identical to my mother right this second. Well, I lie. I look identical to my mother once I put makeup on. Couldn't deny it. And then 3 shitheads that are my older brothers. So not every family's great, kids. Let's keep that in your mind. But the funny part about my journey is the fact that I was not meant to be born. Sounds weird. There are surprise babies. I'm sure I'm not the only surprise baby where there was like a gap between like siblings. The only difference is this one and me are 11 years apart. This crazy woman had a tubal ligation and still got pregnant with me. You're welcome. Yeah, surgeries were done and then bam. And to this day, my mom and I laugh about it. My father's passed on, but my mom and I laugh about that shit all the time. It's just funny. She's like, you are not supposed to be here. I said, and every day you've been blessed. You are welcome. From the day I even came out. So one thing that I needed to get into is the fact that when I was about 6 or 7, and I'm a child of the 80s, there was a movie. It was Alfonso Ribeiro starred in it. It's called The Tap Dance Kid. It was a Broadway musical, and I lived in Clanland, Indiana. So there were hardly any black people. Any black person I saw was my family. So then I saw this after-school special. I said, I know for a fact all I want to do is be on stage and entertain now. I knew it from across the board, but little boys didn't take dance class where I was. And I went to my mom, I went to my dad. My mom was like, I got you, I got you. My dad was like, absolutely not. But I had a pair of gray, like Payless Easter shoes. That's all I needed. And I jumped on top of the our front porch and pretended to tap until I annoyed the shit out of every person in my neighborhood. And they would walk past me, kids were laughing, my brothers were laughing, and all I knew was I was doing something that was making someone smile, regardless of what they were smiling and making, like they were making fun of me. As a kid, you are unabashedly yourself. You don't have all that societal stuff stuck on you yet. And the thing that I got into was the fact that I've never had that. I've never had the fear of upsetting someone and letting that upset me. As long as I was getting an emotion out of somebody, I was doing something right, in my opinion. If that meant I was doing a time step poorly, I time stepped. Or if I would sing and run around like all those weird and like Sperry rhymes. So that is something that I'm going to look at you all because you're younger. Do not lose that fear. Don't lose that wonder about being able to just 100% be yourself. Because in the grand scheme of everything, that is what vibrancy is for me. Living an actual vibrant life, to me, is waking up every morning. It doesn't matter if you've got a bright color shirt on. To me, it matters what your spirit is in line with for your day. And as long as you're 100% yourself, you will shine in any dark space. And that is vibrant. It goes across, it transcends time, it transcends like gender and any societal norm you can think of. It is one of the most beautiful things to see somebody unapologetically living their life. And as I look around, I'm not the only person that feels like that lives in that way. Excuse me. I'm also just getting over laryngitis. It's been a screwy 45 into 46. Oh, that's so much better. So, hold on. Couple things. We can get rid of those people. Yes, I was a black kid at Dublin. You're welcome. I'm actually speaking at Dublin Cider High School this afternoon for a retirement of my then tennis coach. It's weird how I put these photos in here, and this is how life is working right now. So there's a little kid that was dancing his ass off. This was my Aunt Margaret. Aunt Margaret at that point was 64, I believe, and she taught me how to do a first head spin. This was breakdancing time. Keep it in your mind. So I just had to, my family's weird. I grew up with a preacher. I'm a son of a preacher, and my mom was an ICAT. So think of it like, yes, she used to dance and sing for Tina Turner. So I am all over. I'm a hippie's child. I am every weird conglomerate of a bunch of stuff. So when I got into wanting to perform more professionally, my father immediately said no. Now, mind you, oh, yeah, these are out of order, but I like it. There we go. We'll stick with that one. She's weird. I didn't listen to my dad because I knew intrinsically that I was meant to serve a purpose to reach people on stage in some way. It didn't necessarily mean I had to be dressed up as Anisa. Corey was just cool enough. I was working and singing, and my first gig was at Kings Island. Hold on. I know it's in here somewhere. We're going to find it. Oh, boom. Can I go back? Yay. This was my very first adult big professional gig working at the Paramount Theater, Paramount's Kings Island in 19... Yeah, it was, yeah, right. And that was like a hold photo. So then what happened, I immediately dropped out of college. I was a freshman at Ohio State. And I said, wait a minute. And this was when they paid good money. So I said, I can make the exact same amount of money as my mother at 19 why the fuck am I going to school? To learn how to sing when I'm already getting paid to sing. So, but I had a battle with my family because my dad's whole thing was education, education, education. You know, that's the thing that happens. So and I told him, I said, and telling your parents you're dropping out of college to pursue you is one of the hardest things a person can do. I actually lied about it a lot until the day before I was moving to Cincinnati. And he said, what is going on? I said, by the way, I dropped out of school, gotta go. And like booted. But you know, things happen. And then I said, I will come back. I promise to you I will. I didn't know that journey was gonna take years because I left Kings Island. Oh gosh, he was so cute. And now that led me to Disney. So I left Kings Island, I went to Disney. I left Disney, I went to Royal Caribbean. I left Royal Caribbean, I went to Broadway. So then I was in Rent on Broadway and I did the first national tour of Broadway Rent. All leading back to being Anisa Love in Columbus, Ohio. So keep that in mind. Dreams can get deferred in 14 different ways. And then I came back and still got my bachelor's degree at Ohio State. It took some time, but I came back through as a promise to my father. The funniest thing was, it's not really funny, hindsight, yikes. He passed away 3 days before graduation. It's okay now. I wasn't going to graduation anyway because George W. Bush was the speaker. And I said, but no. So it's just like how I know you couldn't have told me shit. By the way, that mustache was what it was. So here are a couple different takeaways of how we can, Cisco. We're gonna leave it at that for right now. Because we've made mistakes, kids. You'll figure it out soon enough. You'll find out. When you've hit this point of where you think no one's going to support you because of the dream that you have and where you want to just live your life and show up for you 100%, for me, it looks like restlessness. I can't sleep. I can't eat. Every time I lay down, I'm standing and energy is buzzing, and that's telling me it's now time to make that leap into the next, like I'm standing on that precipice. Lean into the uncomfortable moments because that uncomfortability will generate so much love and so much light and so much energy that everyone around you will either have to get out of your way or hold you up to keep you from shooting into the stratosphere so they can be with you. Take the people with you that are on your journey. It's okay to leave those that are not. That is something that I have struggled with my entire life because the people that you shine brightest with, sometimes they don't want you to shine brighter than them. And you could be on that same path doing it together, but then a little bit more twinkle happens and they want to kind of hold you. It's okay to break that off because sometimes you're meant for greater than the moment you're in right now. And living an unapologetically bright, queer life like I am. And I live in the suburbs. My husband is the whitest man in the world. And we run down the street loving one another because I have no fear, because I know at the end of the day, I've got him and me, and I've got people around me that do love and support me, not the artifice of things. Make sure that while we have the time on this plane with each other, that we focus on looking at you and saying, by the way, but Darla, everything about your energy is making me want to be a better person. That, and I don't know you, but that smile and that warmth, that to me is an internal vibe that you can't deny. It's in the swagger of how you walk. It's in how you carry yourself. It's your demeanor, how you introduce yourself to somebody, or even how you just exist in a space without speaking. You know your people. You can find your people regardless if they look like you, dress like you, smell like you, because a lot of people take scent out of it. It sounds weird. I use every sense to see where my people are, to find my tribe. It's weird because I'm, as an actual trained makeup artist, everything has a scent. So and I'm not saying a perfume, which you can, but what you put on your hair, your moisturizer. I'm drawn to those things because I already know that we're on the same wavelength. When I first met Brandy, I was told, you're gonna get it with Brandy. And then we sat down and immediately I found someone that I'm gonna be connected with for the rest of my life. That is vibrancy. Make sure that when you're vibrating high, you're gonna notice things that are different. When your energy is already buzzing, that positivity that's gonna come back to you is gonna hit you tenfold. But make sure that while you're vibrating high, take stock of what's around you, because there could be low vibrational energy holding you here when you were meant to be here. And so it's okay to just shake it off a bit, dance it down. I usually turn on some of the most random music to get my energy back. And only my friends would know this, but the person that gets my energy back more than anything is Garth Brooks. It's the weirdest thing in the world, kids. You weren't ready for it, but it's the truth. The song Standing Outside the Fire means so much to me because of the fact that you have to pretend to do so much stuff, and then while you're going through it, there's a trail of magic happening behind you. And that's all I ever care to leave when I walk through a room. My purpose, my love, my joy, my energy, all of that is meant to transcend this one moment. I'm almost finished. So walking in here, the only goal I had was to be able to share a little bit about me so we could all connect on a more human level across all spectrums. If you wear vibrant clothes, wear them proudly. Do not be ashamed if you don't look like the chick or the dude next to you. You weren't meant to. You were meant to exist to solely be you and no one else. And don't let family, don't let society, don't let anything stop you from 100% being who you are, because the way you enter that realm is the way everyone's going to remember you when you're gone. So with that, look, 17 seconds. Wait, boom. That is Kings Island as well. I just wanted to go back to that because I was super cute. But yeah, that's it. So I have questions for you as well. Oh, Equality Ohio, I forgot about her. The whole time we were talking about Anisa, and she was sitting there, and then she was at Harvard. Drag can take you anywhere your imagination will let you go. The arts as a whole can take you anywhere your mind can let it go. But I will say this, I never thought as Anisa I would be speaking at Harvard University. I never thought that I would be on covers of magazines, which is super weird to me, because I never wanted that. I just wanted to be myself and exist and create art and make sure that I could live a life that my father would be proud of. So my question, I'm going to start with you, is what does it mean, and this is just for you, what does it mean for you to live as big as you really are? What does it mean for you to live a vibrant life for yourself? And what is actually holding you back? That holding you back is the question that can screw you up. It's too early. Look, you said that's an early question. So thank you so much. Brandy, come on up.
Corey Williams.